Welcome to my introduction to torture devices.
That one is huge.
All right, everyone, welcome back. I am Ben with Run Slow to Run Fast. Today, I'm going to give you my 5 tips for recovery, and as a bonus, I'll give you one of my favorite recipes. Before we get started, let me start with a disclaimer. I am not a doctor or a physician of any sort, so make sure to consult a doctor before you try any of the things that I'm about to share with you today. Additionally, with the recipe that I'll share with you at the end of this video, I am not a dietitian, so make sure to double check with your dietitian before you undertake any new diets or try things that you haven't before. All right, to jump right in, I'm going to give you tip number 1. Tip number 1 is to foam roll and or massage. So these are 2 of the devices that I have that help me. So first is a foam roller. This is one that I picked up off Amazon. It was something like 15 bucks or so. Great to do both before your run and after, as well as on your rest day, just to foam roll and kind of get out some of those knots and sore spots in your legs just to loosen up a little bit. Definitely use the foam roller a lot, and this one is definitely really good. You can see it has some points and some places that will really get into those knots and help loosen you up a bit. Second things that I have here, this is a massage gun, also picked up off Amazon. These run about 100 bucks and up. It just depends on which one you want to get. This is more of a generic one. Works really well. It's got several different heads to it to really help get into some of those knots and some of those sore spots, work out those muscle issues, get into your legs and stuff like that. This one's really great because it has multiple different settings and speeds, so it works really well for that. And this is something that I use quite frequently. For 150 bucks, I will tell you that these things, they don't do a lot more as far as recovery for me personally than does a foam roller. So if you're looking to do something on the cheap, I think a foam roller works very well for getting those knots out and helping you get out some of that muscle tightness and muscle soreness. All right, my second recovery tip is to be active during recovery. Whether you're taking a rest day or whatever that is, make sure to be active during that day. Don't just sit on the couch all day, don't sit in a chair all day, be up and moving around. One of the great things to do after either a long run or a hard session is to do a short, easy session. So if you do, let's say you do 12 or 15 miles one day, the next day, either do a light jog 2 or 3 miles, go for a couple-mile walk, a light hike, something like that. Just keep that heart rate fairly low, but just do something to shake out that soreness and that stiffness in those muscles and those legs, and that will really help speed up the recovery process. All right, recovery tip number 3, really important one, is sleep. Make sure to get good sleep, whatever it takes to help you do that. Make sure you get 7 to 8 hours of sleep is usually what's recommended. Don't be one of those people that tries to sleep 4 hours. Make sure that you're getting good restful sleep and really do whatever it takes to help you do that, whether that's winding down at the end of the night. If you're into the circadian rhythm type thing, make sure to do that. Whatever it takes to help you have a good night's sleep, that's one of your best recovery tools. So make sure to make sleep a priority. All right, tip number 4 is a very important one. Make sure to refuel and hydrate your body properly. So this can mean a lot of things. Definitely don't take your rest day or your recovery as an opportunity to eat a lot of foods that aren't necessarily going to help speed up that process. Make sure to focus on good proteins, healthy fats, greens, hydrate, drink lots of water. All of those things will really help speed up the recovery process for you. All right, that brings us to tip number 5. Tip number 5, very important one, make sure to stretch. I know there's been some research studies done that have, kind of questioned the effectiveness of stretching. For me personally, I found it something that really helps a lot. I personally stretch every night before I go to bed. I do some dynamic stretching before my run and then some static stretching at the end of my run. So stretching is very important to me. Make sure, especially as I'm getting a little bit older, stretching is really helping me to loosen up my body and make sure to get rid of some of that stiffness that can come, especially again after a long or a hard workout. So make sure to stretch. Also, if you guys are interested in the stretching routine that I do, certainly let me know. I'd be happy to do another video specifically on my stretching routine and things that I do to help my body, my legs specifically, get in an environment that helps them to perform best when I'm running. Okay, it is recipe time. I promised you a bonus recipe, so here it is. I'm going to make one of my favorite protein shakes. When I was a bodybuilder into bodybuilding, I got pretty good at making protein shakes, and this is one of my favorites. So for me, I'm using a Ninja blender, which is one that I have, fairly inexpensive. I think we picked up the whole set for around $100 at Costco. So something like that would work just fine. If you have a different type of blender, I'm sure it would do the job as well. So for this, we're going to start with a base of ice. We're going to fill the cup about a third full. All right, so you can see the cup is about a third full there. So we'll start with that as our base. Next, we're gonna do one whole banana. Just a medium banana is fine. I personally like it if it's starting to get a little brown. That just makes it a little bit softer and gives you more of a banana taste in your smoothie. All right, so you can see we have our banana in there. So the cup is about 3/4 full at this point. You can see there's a max fill line on this one. So I usually try not to fill it up too much more than that, or you'll get some spillover once you do start to blend it. So got our banana in there. Next, I'm gonna do my base, which is almond milk. You can really use whatever type of milk that you prefer, whether that's regular cow's milk or oat milk or really anything that you desire. And with this, we're gonna fill it about 2/3 full or so. You can see I'm covering some of the bananas, but not all of them. So that's about where I've got it. Next, we're gonna do some butter. I use almond butter. Again, you can tailor this to whatever you like. If you like peanut butter or cashew butter or whatever that is, you can certainly use whatever you want. And with this, it really doesn't matter how much you put. I think 1 tablespoon to somewhere in that neighborhood is usually what I like to do. It just depends on how I'm feeling at the moment. I've already had a shake today, so I don't want to overdo it with some of the fats, but I am going to put about 1 tablespoon of almond butter in here. All right, so I've got my almond butter in here now, so I've just got a little bit of room left for the protein powder. I use BSN Whey protein powder. This one is one of my favorites. It tastes really good. It's a chocolate milkshake flavor that I use. You can certainly use vanilla or whatever your heart's desire with regard to the protein powder. You can also use something that's a plant-based protein powder if you prefer to do that. And this one of the reasons that I like it is it has 15 carbs in it as well, which are fast digesting carbs, which is generally, from my understanding, something that you need after a hard workout or after you start to deplete some of those muscles on a long run or whatever that is. So I really like this protein powder for that. This one has 22 grams of protein in it, so I'm gonna put just 1 scoop. All right, and that's all the ingredients that you need for this particular protein shake that I do. So you can see we're right at that fill line. So I'm just gonna take my lid and screw it on and we will blend it up. I usually blend it for about 30 seconds or so. All right, so there you have it, your post-run protein shake. For me, I love it. It has a really good texture. That banana in there especially gives it a really good smoothie texture. So hopefully this is something that you guys can try. Let me know if you like it. If you make variations, we'd love to know that as well. Thanks so much for watching today. Please take some time to like and subscribe. This video really helps me out a lot, helps out the channel. Thanks you guys for tuning in and staying with me through the whole video, and we will see you again next time.